Hey there gardeners, Chris from Gardensteading here today, and I wanted to talk about my little Tahitian lime and another garden pest. We just seem to be getting them all, and it is spring, so that probably makes some kind of sense, but a lot of this is fairly new to me. And on this particular plant, we had primarily one big issue, and that is aphids. And I came out and I checked, basically I was having a wander down the property, and I thought I'll have a look at all of my citrus trees in this area and my jujube. And when I got to this tree, the tops of the stems were absolutely covered in aphids. And you're probably wondering to yourself, what does that mean? About that much of each of the new shoots were just black with big aphids and baby aphids. And what aphids do, from my understanding, is they eat the sap of the tree. So they kind of bore into the tree and they just suck all the goodness out of it on those new shoots. And as a result, your new growth and your new blossoms that are turning into fruit, if they've been pollinated, those are not going to go anywhere. So it is a significant issue if you're trying to really take care of your trees. And because our trees are all tiny, most of them are about a meter and a half tall, which is so like three to 5 feet. So they're very, very new. It's their second season, essentially speaking. Some of them haven't even been in for a year. We're trying to give them the best chance ever. And obviously if they get big enough, then it would be very hard to deal with things. But this tree here, nice and small, I can do it by hand, which is what I've been doing on everything. I did also notice some sapsuckers, and the ants are bringing all these pests in. And so maybe a bit of Vaseline around the bottom of the tree would be a good idea. However, to be honest, I don't want to do that because this tree in particular, and I can't see him now, but we often see him on this tree. There is a tiny little green frog who lives on this tree and obviously handles a lot of the pests for us, but he may not eat aphids, but he's definitely not eating whatever is overtaking the tree. So I came in and rather than spray the tree for the tree frog reason, I just squished them all by hand. And the other day I spent a good 10-15 minutes here squishing aphids, big ones and small ones, on all the fresh shoots on this tree. It took a lot of time. My hands ended up basically covered in aphid blood, and while not the most lovely of gardening experiences, it's looking much better today. I did just clear off one of the branches, which was starting to kind of get quite a heavy concentration of aphids once again, with both adult and baby aphids. But it's just one of those things where I guess having a closer look at some of your trees and trying to stay on top of things can make a big difference. And because I can just squish them with my hands, I think gloves would be preferable, even just like a pair of light rubber gloves or, those gloves that they use in the workshop. Even that would probably be a good alternative to just doing it with your fingers. It is going to take out these bugs. It's going to reduce the amount of them enormously. I'm not going to do the ring of Vaseline around the trunk of the tree because, as I said, it's possible that would affect our little frog. And I'm not spraying the trees with chemicals either, because in this situation, again, the frog is a concern, and if I can avoid doing that, it's preferable at this stage. Because again, it's one of those things that we often don't think about. We've got heaps and heaps and heaps of these little frogs here, and when we get wet weather or it starts raining, you hear them, and you hear them all chirping away very, very happily. They're only tiny. They're not like a big green tree frog. They're only, generally speaking, like that big, but I don't want to kill them, and I don't want to impact their environment more than I need to. They're probably good pest prevention on a lot of these trees, and yeah, if I can avoid using anything that's going to be too detrimental to the environment and to other animals and to other insects, even like good insects, that's the way we'll go. And you might be saying to yourself, he really loves that Tahitian lime. That's kind of crazy. That's not that great of a fruit. But to be honest, Tahitian lime are amazing in a mojito with a bit of the mint that we're also growing. We're certainly not able to distill. That's not legal for us to do at home in Australia, but there are some very, very good local distilleries that we do get some nice gin from, and hopefully we might be able to find some rum as well. We'll see how we go on that one. But this is a little bit of a precious tree because I can see us really enjoying those Tahitian limes in the future, and it's growing really nicely as well. We do have a couple of fruit developing on the tree, and so I am rubbing my hands together a little bit at the thought of getting maybe 1 or 2 Tahitian limes at this early stage. Now, what have I got here in front of me? This is just a regular old, maybe it might be a Eureka lemon, but I'm not 100% sure. It's just a regular old lemon. It came from the city with us. It's doing well. It's got 2 nice fruit on it. We've actually had a couple of lemons off it already. And so this is a great little performer. We've had it for, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. I don't even remember. It didn't seem to get affected by the aphids the way that that little Tahitian lime did, but I am keeping a close eye on it just to make sure that everything's going okay. And if I'm brutally honest, all of these citrus are probably due for a little bit of mulch, a little bit of fertilizer, stuff like that. And I should probably get on that. But let's have a look at a couple of the other citrus. So this one, you can make yourself look kind of smart if you're helping identify it and you've got people who don't know very much. The double leaf, I don't know if it's unique to this particular citrus, but this is the Kaffir lime, and it has quite a eye-catching kind of leaf and foliage to it. And when they fruit, they'll have this really ugly looking citrus that has just this really like warty kind of skin on it. Now, the Kaffir lime is not really used as a juicing lime. It is basically for zest. And for that, it's really good. And I believe the leaves are really useful as well. And I should probably put that to the test, but we've had a couple of Kaffir limes off it, even at this small size. And we were quite interested to use those in the cooking, but we haven't used the leaves at all. So there you go. Now, accusations of the Tahitian lime being my favorite because I've spent so much time on it aside, this is probably my favorite. This is a Caracara blood orange. And essentially, I want to grow a blood orange. And yeah, it was a very, very slow starter. We were thinking it wasn't a good spot for it and maybe we'd just picked the wrong tree. It is a little bit shady here, but heading into summer, there's going to be a lot more sun on all of these through the trees behind me. And it's really perked up. It's looking really good. As you can see, it's got all this beautiful new growth on it. We certainly haven't seen any fruit growing on it yet, and I probably on this one would, to encourage it to grow bigger and stronger early, probably take the fruit off like I've done with, say, our grapefruits. I haven't done it on everything, and this is a really cool little performer now that it's getting a bit more established. But like, unlike a lot of the other trees, it might need staking because it's quite willowy. It's quite, it's not very upright, as you can see here. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this one because this is the favorite. Maya lemon, another variety of lemon, as you can see here, with a little lemon on it. We probably should have taken that off and not let it grow to encourage this tree to grow faster, but we're not in a rush on these. And we are lucky enough to have family who live nearby who've got very productive lemon and orange trees, and so we can go nab some of theirs. But yeah, certainly this one has not grown as well. As you can see, it's quite spindly, but we've got 1 fruit growing on it, and this is the end of this row. And this whole row of citrus here, I intend to try and do what Epic Gardening did and keep them nice and low, maybe 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters tall, and 1.5 meters wide or 2 meters wide. They'll basically run up the property line here, and by keeping them small, they'll be perfect for this space and create kind of like a hedge, I would hope.